And now for real. Clark coming back. Boston one-on-one with Jones.
In their shoot-around, understanding that big
chemistry with last year's Rookie of the Year. Clark into the paint, hooks it up and
needed to play alongside her.
Here's Thomas dumping it down. Jones. You remember that one, don't you? Thomas again. Clark can't hit. Freight train going around Clark. Last year, first play and steals. Fire! In and Clark to Smith. Can't. Thomas shot put. Walms it to the corner. Up to Smith, her three.
Games.
Boston. Trout catching up to her as she
cut. Took two defenders.
Wheeler circling, dishing. Bonner dips in and
on her defender.
Sixth on the all. Smith will fire again. That one here. Thomas. Harris a deep one. 5. Clark on the bench right now. Melissa Smith running the floor.
Great sign for Indiana. A season ago this year getting the
but participate.
Catch and shoot. 3-point shooter.
Boston gets inside. Even a season ago. Second straight championship. Rebecca Allen, not a guard, but was a key.
With the Connecticut Sun. Outstanding.
Those first 4 seasons. Here's Carrington. Benlay sets the screen. Directing Stallone will fire. And Harris, another 3. Back bend, particular veteran team. That can be hard for a younger point guard. Door cut, Mitchell.
100%. Aaliyah Boston pick and roll. You know, is it both of these teams?
Here's Thomas barreling in. Let's take LA and their talented rookie. She plays with 2 torn legs and wanted to take the year off that it would require. The former in or in a game ever.
Yeah.
Positions for Connecticut this season. As Thomas was jawing with the Jones. Jones.
Strong physique, quick first step.
Austin dips inside and later not picked up. Goes right to the. Bonner a deep 3. She'll go behind the back. Caitlin Clark as it's knocked away. Working behind Boston. Clark. Anna Carrington in trend in front. More than 2 minutes into the second quarter. Boston. Jones able to let it fly. Can't hit. She was effective in it, and she had for everybody else on this team. And one thing we
see Caitlin getting a little frustrated right now with Hayes Garning is opening up for her teammates.
Thank you, Hollis, for a nice find. Boston to 1 overall picks. As a down to 1. Jones flip. And then
in the WNBA, it's very physical and some.
Harris long 2. Trying to lob. Spinning off one leg. From 3 will dip inside. And Holly.
Well, after you need it, she was leaning into.
She should be saying, how do you need the best?
Banham. Able to come near that pace here so far tonight. Carrington, drink. Jimmying into the paint, gets somebody. Having an offbeat wiggle. Kind of on beat, but it's not quite either. Here's Bonner's jumper. Now on the drive underneath. Smith. Some of that just credit to Carrington. Bonner, another jumper. And big screen from Katie. Banham a 3. She Clark's pocket. And late. There's going to be more physicality. Their step back jumper. That one roll for a logo 3. Out by Banham. And right call. She was going for the steal. Back Benlay separates and
Sir, knowing her defender could not help.
Clark, a good look from 3. Shine. Thomas spins, gets
on, but this is at least the 4th.
He never sits. And she said, you know, there was one game basketball that I felt tired because I had a cold. That's Carrington.
Made the right read. She's been disciplined on deep.
Can play with bursts of energy. Just the way Connecticut is attacked, even with the right now.
Bonner a 3. A quiet start to the game. Clark, wait. Harris will keep things here with Indiana. She picked them up early. Here's Smith. Wouldn't take it. Drop. Is winning the battle on the glass as Bond. Fronting Clark. Boston get edge again.
And that time, Katie.
Carrington swims in. Smith. Wheeler a 3. Wheeler 3. She has struggled so far tonight. Off a screen, gets a look. That's going to be an offensive foul. Parts of guarding someone is the mental. Racing inside, lays it. Thomas shovels, Bonner. Clark guarded by Harris. And Diana Taurasi. Here's Banham, her three. Here's Banham and hooking it in. Boston knocks edge, backs away from it, gets fouled. One.
Both have been terrific.
Space, finding Bonner. Tawana Bonner.
And then
All alone to the rim.
time has not caught up.
Mitchell night to watch Caitlin after her story out and forecast ahead as Warner, Katie Lou,
Figuring out ways that she can get others open.
Rachel Banham in this game, Clark in front, and a trial. Connecticut turnover, looking to evade Carrington and Thomas. That's good. Working Thomas, so physical. Smith back to it. Another chance. Smith able to finish off the.
I really like her connection though with Melissa.
Banham a three. Katie Lou can't hit the Thomas push shot. Banks back. Benley lays it in. It's a deep jumper, and that's one opportunity here for Indiana. Boston dips inside. Free throws here. The upcoming WNBA national team attacks. Clark
Right in to get to the line.
and the game has gone along. Clark, shot clock turned off. Step back jumper. You bet. Jones finds Thomas. Point. Connecticut lead. Here's Smith off one Lils. Harris. Thomas will. And Melissa Smith double. Harris forced it up. Wheeler zips into the paint and lays. Thomas bounces. Jones. Melissa, she'll want all of them.
Yeah.
Away. Boston. Thomas lobs it up. Bonner.
Amazes you so much. I'm going to go back to the motherhood pregnancy in the hospital. But
Clark draws two, finds one, and two to shoot. Boston, where they've been each of the last 15 games with at least 20 points. Only Diana Taurasi, who had 20 back. Clark will fire, and Tanham trying to shake around. Harris a three. She got it. For you, the gauntlet at the corner. Berger gets bumped, will take, and after a slow score. Between two, bodies in. Let's take a listen into sounds of the game. Jefferson.
Clark up and early to limit.
Will fire. And last year when she didn't win MVP. Champion. Here's Clark storming in. Rounded. And 67. Connecticut in front. Wallace hits the. We haven't seen Melissa Smith in a while. Turnover from Clark. Open deep three, missed it. She will be back on our air on ABC. Away, left it short.
For Chelsea Gray, for however she's in terms of efficiency.
And now put up the long two. And 8 to shoot. Mitchell, not production from the others for Connecticut.
Here in the opening game.
Can't hit the layup. Nelson at 5. Lays it in. It's up. Down. Back Benley. Back Benley separates and
Today accusing Caitlin Clark as a spacer, knowing her defender could not help.
back Benley. Here's Clark, a good look from 3. They've cut the deficit down to 9. Thomas spins, gets.
Our box score doesn't show fouls drawn, but this is at least the 4th.
Now,
They're
Rebecca.
going to need to get a player up, even with the players. Simply too difficult to complete right now.
Bonner a 3. Yet for Clark, although Indiana is winning the battle on the glass, is 8 of 12 from the line. As Bonner.